Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Carboots Our Craziness, of course, in our new lifestyle. Because unfortunately, I'm too lazy to edit it. I actually went to 3 carboots. I actually did go to 2 carboots in between the last two. Um, One of them actually did pick up some pretty good stuff. I only could go for a very short period of time because I had to go sign on to work straight afterwards. Unfortunately, it was actually the same day the big one was on. So I thought, oh, I may head to the smaller one because I couldn't go to the big one and go to work. Well, I could go to the smaller one and literally catch a train straight to work and just get there in time. So literally, I went around, and even though it was a smaller one, people looking for video games. I mean, I think any car boot, like no matter how big or small, always going to have people looking for video games. And luckily, there wasn't too many, and I actually managed to pick up some good things. I picked up Metroid Prime for the DS. It actually ended up having Duke Nukem Advance in it, and literally another video game seller or was looking through those games, and he was like only picking up PS3 stuff, and he actually put that one down. So I was quite got in there. I think I only paid about £4 for that. It was like I ended up getting a load of games for like £8. So I didn't check what each one was. And I also found a lady who had a load of Japanese Mega Drive games, which the interesting thing with the Mega Drive, you'd think the Japanese versions would be a lot easier to find, but it actually turns out it's the opposite. And the Mega Drive didn't really sell that well in Japan. So Mega Drive games in Japan are a lot more expensive. So they had New Zealand Story, Sonic 1, Golden Axe, and another game. She did want £15 for it, but I had actually been after New Zealand Story for a while. So I decided to take a punt on it. I had a quick check on eBay, and luckily, I think it ended up being about a £50 to £60 bid. But sometimes you are going to unfortunately have to pay a little bit more if you want to get some stuff. Anyway, so I went to another one, my local one, where there's been a few things going on. They sort of changed hands, and I don't really know what they want to do at the moment. I really do hope it becomes a better car boot, but it was a lot smaller than it was last year because it only opened up last year. There used to be a car boot sale in the hospital right opposite it, and they stopped that years ago, and it's a real shame because it probably was one of the best car boots in my local area, next to the big one that we still actually runs to this day. But this one would run weekly, while the big one would run once every month, and then would normally take the winter off. While literally this would run up right until like only disappear for like 3 winter months. So it was always good for car boots around here until unfortunately we lost that one, and then we lost another one we had slightly further down the road. So it's kind of sucked recently for car boot. So it was nice when last year all of a sudden a big brand new car boot essentially showed up right around the corner. And I'd like that car boot to be big again. But anyway, let's not think about that. Let's actually talk about the car boots we went to today. I went to 3 carboots, and none of them were even my local ones. I sort of actually was on a day out with the family, so we sort of stopped off at the 2 carboots we normally went to, and then I headed over to the Isle of Wight, as I have a discount due to the fact that my company has a good relationship with one of the companies, one of the hovercraft companies, so I actually able to get cheap tickets. So I thought, oh, I'd check out the car boot that's over in the Isle of Wight. So I'm going to start off with the first car boot, and there were some pretty good stalls. This is probably one of the biggest car boots. It was really good today. It was really fun. Of course, a lot of people looking for video games, but you got to understand, it's in demand. And first, I came across this lady, and she had a load of games, and she said, "Oh man, you missed it. There was like loads more in there. It was like stuff like Spiral," and she was literally selling PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games for 50p. And she said, we had a good little chat, and she said, "I can see you're a collector." And she even joked, "I bet you got Spiral already." And I even joked, "I got Spiral at this car boot a couple of years ago." But there were still some good games in there, and actually some games that actually were worth something in there. So it shows you that some people will just look for the Spirals, the Crash Bandicoots. Of course, those games are going to be worth money, but sometimes, you just picking up games that you find interesting, you're going to end up finding out, there is other stuff out there that isn't Crash Bandicoot that people are after. I mean, personally, I'm collecting it, but sometimes it is worth, especially at 50p, I'd say it's worth taking a punt. So it was a weird story because I went I went back and I went around some other stores, and I came back and she actually had put another pile of games out, so I got the first dib on a load of them. So I think that's where some of the harder to find titles were. So I'm just going to go through the titles. I think I'll start off on the PlayStation 1 ones, and these were 50p each. And I think she did actually, I think the second time I bought more £5, but she sort of did that. Just take it for £5. So it's a very nice lady there. So it shows you good manners sometimes. Nice little chat. You get some good deals. You said you don't always have to ask for a discount. Sometimes, you get one for being nice and polite. Right, we've got Grand Theft Autos. I'll say San Andreas, not San Andreas, for the original PlayStation. I actually got this already, but I'm pretty sure I got the black label. So now I've got the platinum label. This is the only one sometimes when you are just grabbing games. Because there was another gentleman there, and he was all over they had 2 PlayStation 2s, and he was trying to get them for like £10. And then when I came back later, he was coming back with one of them going, "Oh, this one doesn't have this thing. I want a discount. I want my money back." And he was blatantly someone who was selling it elsewhere in the car boot. So I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, he bought 2 PlayStations of them. And, I ended up buying a bootleg because I was in my excitement. It actually doesn't have the right game. It has a bootleg with the mummy in there. So 50p, sometimes it does show you, unfortunately, don't get anything. But trust me, everything else I got in this pile is pretty decent. Then I got Demolition Racer, another PlayStation 1 game. Some of these are actually quite hard to find. They're just normally racing games. They were 4x4 World Trophy. I think I may actually got this from another store. I'm trying to remember. Driver 2, because there was actually quite a few bits of PlayStation 1 around today. This is actually quite a hard game to find, apparently. Monster Trucks. I think it's quite, especially looking at the case. These were the older cases they come in. This weird case. It's saying when I was up on eBay, it was actually a harder game to find. I mean, I'm going to keep it in my collection because I am actually collecting a lot. I'm getting really lucky with PS1, and I never had a PS1 as a kid, so I'm trying to collect quite a lot of this. So this will be another nice one for my collection. And a game I shockingly never had that is a classic, according to a lot of people, Gran Turismo. I mean, I got the sequels. I never had the original. I don't think that one's really worth that much. And then I got a load of good PlayStation 2 games. 50 Cent Bulletproof. That is literally I bought that for nostalgia because when I was a kid, I thought 50 Cent was pretty cool. I never played the game. I remember getting really bad reviews, and these were back in the game. But these were like 40 quid a pop, and even it was like 20 quid a pop. I was only a student who didn't have any job. So yeah, you have to really be careful. You're not really going to pick up a crap San Andreas clone. 25 to Life. That actually does go for a nice little bit on eBay. Of course, go in my collection. This game I actually already own, but I've never owned the original version, Final Fantasy X, and one of my all-time favorite games. I owned the platinum version. This version comes with a DVD that I think you can only play on the PlayStation that has interviews with the creators and a few of the voice actors. Who shockingly, one of them I actually met last week at MCM Comic Con. I was on stage. I was Baymax from Big Hero 6, and we ended up doing a Disney photo shoot or Disney thing with Jim Cummings, and I've forgotten the guy's name. The guy who voiced Tidus, because my girlfriend always yells at me for saying it wrong, was actually at this event, and as I was Baymax and I was in this huge costume, they sort of stuck me on stage with them. The guy who played Tidus sort of puts his arm around me, so I actually got a hug from Tidus. That was actually pretty cool. So actually quite funny that would just come up just a week after, literally almost a week after it actually happened. Time Splitters 2. I keep forgetting if I have Time Splitters because I do always hear people rave about this game. So I'm picking up games I really want to try. Fur Fighters for you furries out there. Now we all like our own different things. This is like another cool game. And when it's 50p a pop, you just want to try games out like this. Cold Fear, that's another game that I was looking up, and it actually still goes for a nice little bit on eBay. But I mean, I paid £10 for this whole pile, so I got some pretty good games that I would have definitely made my money back if I was selling all this. But insane. So I made a nice little bit that shows you that it is worthwhile, because I was eBaying all of this. This would have cost me a lot more than £10 to get. Kill Switch, another game. Look how dusty it looks like. No one's played it in a while. But yeah, another game. Give a go. This one actually has a demo in it. I had to pick up this game because it's all-time classic. I don't know how good this version is, but Lemmings. You don't have Lemmings. You never played Lemmings. At least try it. It's an amazing game. One of my all-time favorites. I got a lot of the Prince of Persia games because I think I have a few of them, but I don't think I have all of them. And as I say, at 50p a pop, you really got to take advantage of this. When they're saying 50p a pop, just pick it up. The worst comes to worst. The game doesn't work. You spent 50p. You're going to pick something up in that pile. It's going to make probably one of those games is going to at least pay for those mistakes. So Prince of Persia, Sound of Time. We've got Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. Was it XG3 Racing, Extreme Racing with this sexy lady? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That looks like a generic racing game. Yeah, people lots of. Oh, I've heard this game is god awful. I remember half liking the movie back in the day, Minority Report. It's kind of a shame because I remember watching the film going, this would make an awesome video game. And it sucks that the game is apparently god awful. But it's a licensed game. The movie hadn't even been made by the time they made it. Got Quake 3, Quake 3 Revolution, another classic. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I don't own this one. I think I may own it on the Xbox, but I like PlayStation 2. Another classic, Half-Life. I forgot if I owned this one as well, but Half-Life is considered one of the best games of all time. And I'm like, 50p, if I have it, someone may get lucky one day, and if I'm trading a few things on, I can chuck that in the bundle. And another Prince of Persia, the Two Thrones. So I sort of picked up most of the Prince of Persia games because I'm pretty sure I at least have one of them, but I like 50p a pop. You got to give it a go. So there was another gentleman, and he had quite an interesting stall. He had a lot of console stuff, and literally I was just getting there, and this guy was like literally walking away with a humongous pile of games. And I think there was some Mega Drive games in there, but this guy had like everything. He had a PlayStation 4, had a load of Mega Drives, he had a Master, he had both Mega Drive. And I was looking at the Mega Drive, and I was like, oh, because my Mega Drive 2 has played up. And I was like, I wouldn't mind another Mega Drive 2. And there was a gentleman and a lady, and they were literally, I think they were trying to lower him down or something, and he wasn't having any of it, and the gentleman had like a Game Gear in his hand. It's really annoying because that's literally one of the only things I don't have. And he was going on saying, oh, it's 20 quid, and he's like, I don't want to pay 20 quid for this. And you can understand, the guy did get there first. You can't just 20 quid, and he was just about to put it down. He sort of said 20 quid, and I sort of said, well, I'll pay 20 quid for the Game Gear. And the guy just flat out gave it. He didn't get, because sometimes they get really like, no, you're not having this. Okay, you want to pay 20 quid, you can pay 20 quid for it. And yeah, he said it was in a nice little bag. I don't think it's an original Sega bag. I put the game in it. It didn't come with Sonic. I actually had bought a Game Gear before, and it didn't work. So I took the punt on a Game Gear. It came with the adapters. I was like, at the end of the day, I know the adapters could be like £10, so at least I got a spare adapter. And some, I don't even know what that is. It's like some brain training clone type thing. And I also found randomly in one of the boxes the original DS, and I actually I do have a blue one of these, and it's broken. Like, this hinge is gone. It still plays, but I bought it a few years ago, £3. It had to charge with it. That was kind of more the reason. It even has a stylus. And I also randomly found in the bottom of this bag a copy of Drake and Josh. And I thought, I even said to Zara, like, look, there's a copy of Drake and Josh. I want to. And he just said, no, you can put that in the bundle. You have that whole bundle for 25 quid. I thought, 25 quid? Yeah, I'll do that. And of course, there was like heart and mouth moment when I came home, turned on the Game Gear. The first time it wouldn't turn on, and I was like, oh, I spent 20 quid on a brick. And I looked down and I hadn't turned the switch on. And I turned it on, and then just a load of white lights come up, and I went, oh god, I just spent £20 on the brick that comes up with a load of white lights. And then I tried the oldest trick in the book. I know they say not to do it. I know it's god awful to do your games, and did it, and it works. The audio works. The only annoying thing is, unfortunately, there's some little blotches on the screen, red dots on the screen. Isn't perfect, but I've been after a Game Gear for a long time. This also worked. Literally, when I got back in the car, as my dad was driving, where I wasn't driving around playing a DS, I literally put this Jake and Josh straight in and just ended up playing it for a bit. And yeah, no, it worked. Literally, I turned it straight on, and I said I got the charger upstairs, and that was really good. So I essentially bought that. Was a really good deal, I think, in the end. 25 quid for a DS and a Game Gear. And then I got 2 random DS games. In fact, one of them was a Lego one, and people always seem to be after Lego ones, so that was good. So yeah, no, I picked up a good little find there. So he had a load of Mega Drives and Master Systems, but I left that for someone else because I did have an ooh and ah about the Mega Drive too, but I didn't even ask him for the price in the end. Someone else hopefully picked that up, and hopefully someone was needing a Mega Drive. So yeah, no, that was good. Literally, as I was leaving, there was already a line of people sort of seeing you going, oh, this guy's got Mega Drives and stuff. I was like, oh, sorry, squeeze through literally his stall literally right after I was gone. So it's a shame I was probably like the second person. The first guy got all the really amazing stuff, but I at least got some cool. But they had a PlayStation 4, and I think they were trying to haggle him down from that. It's ridiculous considering the PlayStation 4 is the current console, and you could easily make probably a nice £100 on that if you. Properly, but then it may not be working, so I'm probably not working properly. What else did I get? Oh yeah, I randomly found this. I forgot if I had it or not, and I did freaking had it, and I spent £2.50. They wanted £5, I got them all the way down. I wanted 2, and they sort of came in at £2.50, and I was like, okay, fair enough. I've forgotten was this one or the Knights one, the one where he's a knight. I had. And unfortunately, I actually just opened up one of my game box, and this was right at the top. I was like, damn it, I already had Sonic and the Secret Ring, so I probably overpaid, but for this little bit, it's a bit of a pain because I'm just going to have to trade one on. But I may just leave it in my spare boxes, just in case someone does need it one day. Carboot, a lot of game sellers, saw a certain someone there, but I won't go any more than that. But yeah, yeah, so a lot of people looking for games, and I would say it's more of your traditional cop sale. It's quite rough, bit of rough and tumble. Didn't get any fights with anyone, It's quite. I actually had a quite funny story. I actually remember. I think it's actually with. I don't have the game. He randomly still had that one of the Donald Duck PS2 game, the Donald Duck PS2 game, and actually never owned it. And I heard it's actually an okay game. I actually quite like Donald Duck as well, so that's the other reason I want it. And this other guy sort of going through games, and he's sort of like, oh, a good DS game. He opens this up, and he's not there. He's like, oh, isn't it always the way? Like you go through a game, and then you don't find it in the. And it was just like little things like that, when when people just make a little joke like that. And I said, yeah, you find something really rare, you open it up, and it's not flipping in there, or something really god or FIFA's in there. And yeah, that was just a nice little moment. So you're saying there's some other nice moments just interacting with people. Right. So we went on to the second car boot, but the fact is this other car boot had been on a little while. So it was good, but I probably game wise, you really do want to be there as early as possible to get some good things. And the first real stall I came across, I think I bought this one. I bought these 2 things from it. One's a video game and one's video game related. SimCity Creator, because I didn't own this version of SimCity, and I'm a humongous fan of SimCity. If you've seen my Super Nintendo fine episode, I just gush about the Super Nintendo version. So I'm like, any version of SimCity, rubbish or really amazing, I'm picking it up. You can make the most rubbish version. You literally could make a god awful game and put SimCity on it, and I'd probably still buy it. I mean, I haven't got the most recent one actually. I hear it's not very good, but I'm pretty sure I will play it at some point. But yeah, I'm just a sucker for SimCity. And the other thing, and she did want a little bit for it, but I sort of said, you know what? I didn't pick these up when Game had it, and this was actually a pretty fair price. She had the PlayStation the things you put your drinks on. And yeah, no, that's really cool. She had them, and we got what's it? 3 in here, 4 in here, and Dad, I'm filming. Yeah, so I had these 4. I got these 4 coaster things, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really wanted the Parappa the Rapper one mostly because yeah, that was a really awesome one. This is the game I played quite a lot at other people's houses. I've never actually owned this game. There was actually had it on display at a convention last year, and I remember picking it up and then managed to get it into like cool mode, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I played this game for years and I never got into cool mode." I'm like, I'm literally just jamming the button down as quickly as possible, and oh, it was so cool. And I said, I'm someone who like. I don't get a chance really to play the game. I never own. I know there is like a HD remake, and I still don't own it. I am gonna. I said, I've been meaning to pick up games up here. One of these days, I will pick up the Rapper. So that's pretty cool. Right. Then there was another store. This gentleman had a lot of video game stuff. I did find a store that had a Mega Drive version of Madden, the NFL 97. She wanted £3 for it, and I'm like, I'm not paying £3 for an NFL game. Already sports game, Mega Drive sports game. £2 is my limit on that. I should have asked gone down for £2, but I really wasn't after Madden. But yeah, this other guy had a few Wii games, but he knew what he had. He had stuff like Pandora Tower and was it X-Blade Chronicles, and he had them at pretty much retail price, or was what CEX would mostly sell. Like e.g., it was £25. CEX sells it for 28. So I got Amy, do you know this live?
Hello.
Hey, it's my sister just coming in. So everyone's. No, I won't be too much longer. I'm on the second carboot. Right. That's my sister. She comes to the carboot sometimes. She came to 2 of them today. Yeah, I picked this one up. I haven't picked up James Bond game in a while. This just took my interest. It was only £1. Literally anything that didn't have a stick on it was £1. And I also picked up this because I was like, he's surely mismarked that. It didn't come with the expansion thing, so that's probably why it was only £1. I actually never owned this version. I found all the other versions of Animal Crossing except for the N64 version that was never released over here. But I've like found a GameCube. I got the GameCube version like for £10 from a charity shop like last year. We're able to find this version of it, the Wii version, which actually isn't the best version, but I'm a big fan of the series, so I will check it out to see what this. And of course, it has the guy who ended up in Smash Bros. All over it. And this was, you said, it had sticker on certain games. You can't go wrong with Harvest Moon. £3. I was like, I'm gonna go with that. I think I picked up one random other game. Did I? I think I may have picked up Link with that. Link, yeah. I remember when I picked this up. Honest God, I'm pretty sure I paid 50 because this is such a cheap game to find. But I've never been able to find. Every time I find it, they want more than £1 for it. I'm pretty sure I picked this up from 50p. I knew I picked it up today. So I actually ended up going back to this car boot a lot later, and there was a gentleman selling a American Wii and a PlayStation 1. And he was offering me £25 as it was right at the end. There was about pack up £25. It was an American Wii and a PlayStation 1, but I have a lot at the moment, so I really had to say no to the deal. I really didn't want another PlayStation because I had already bought a PlayStation 1 a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, that kind of sucked. So I had to give that deal. I have to like pretty much. Yeah, I have to say no to that deal, which does kind of suck. So then I also found something really cool. I think this was the best deal of the day. £2. I haven't checked if it works yet. They were selling this, and before I even asked, I sort of saw the game was in there, went bop, looked in it. Super Mario. I was like, yeah, that's good. how much is this? And they said £2. I'm like, yes, please. And then I saw some games, and they're like, oh, how much are the games? And they said, oh, they're 50p. And as I said, 50p games. Worst can happen. You lose 50p. Broken. Like the screen of Teenage Witch. I mean, I don't. Quite nostalgia. This show was on quite a lot on Nickelodeon in the United Kingdom and ITV quite a lot. So I picked this up. There's also randomly a Tracy Beaker game. There's a meme page I go on that's making lots of jokes about Tracy Beaker right now. So I was like, for 50p, I might as well just post I got this. And this last one you go, why did you buy this? Kylie, that's like, in fact, I got the Drake and Josh game. It's like, this guy is in most of my games today. But no, it's something called a lot better. It's the Bubble Revolution, which, you know, the Bubble game is a instant classic. And even though it's in iCarly's box, even though I feel bad because someone probably came along earlier and bought Bubble, and with iCarly, I actually got along. So hopefully I'll find the box for it one day. But it'd be nice to check to see what Bubble is like on the DS. So then I went over on the hovercraft to the last carboot. This is a weird carboot because it didn't start until 11. Which is very late carboot wise. And literally it was weird. I got there sort of 20 minutes before and everyone's just sort of sitting in their cars, just wait. And especially the carboots I'm used to, literally, even if it's not opening time, people will go through people's like possessions and stuff. It's very go. And so everyone's just sitting there sort of chilling and sort of comes to 5 minutes and people start and then literally the guy comes up and he's like talking about he's saying like don't open it. I had trouble with the council before, and I did feel sorry for the guy. You understand he's sounding like someone who works very hard, and he just didn't want any drama with the council. You know, that kind of happened to that carboot I was talking about earlier. The one I remember there was unfortunately the people complained around it, and I think probably a few spoil sports, unfortunately, you know, just said, I don't want a carboot next to my house. I'm going to write into the council and do what they make me say, make him stop it. But I guess you say, well, something that opens every Sunday morning in front next to you, you're probably not going to be too happy about it. So I guess that's a two-sided thing. So this is a very small carboot, this one. It's on a small island. And it was just a bit weird because you are used to all these guys running around going, you got any video games? You got any Lego? And there really wasn't any of that. It kind of reminded me what it was like a couple of years ago. You can more take your time, look at stuff. It was more about chilling. I didn't really see anyone who was looking for video games. I mean, I'm sure there was some people. I mean, I picked up a few little bits. I'm trying to remember where I put them. I had this random Star Wars game I found, and I can't remember where I put it. I think I left it upstairs. Yeah, literally one guy, he just had a few games. There was like a random Star Wars game that I picked up. Bounty Hunters, that was it. The box was a bit broken, but I think it was good. And there was a random sealed I Did It Mum game. And I was like, it's a sealed game, £4. We might as well pick it up. And yeah. That was another good find. And then randomly, I totally forgot one thing I found at the other carboot. I found so many things. This back to the other one. There's just some random guy who had a load of games, but I was looking. He had a load of unboxed PSP games. All the PSP games he had were terrible, but he randomly had a Crash of the Titans unboxed. And I was like, 50p. Seems to be a day of finding stuff for 50p, except for the Game Gear that was 20 quid. Literally someone had a Mario mouse mat, and I was like, how much for the Mario mouse mat? And they said 20 pence, and I was like, yeah, I'm buying that for 20 pence. Oh yeah, I found a game that I was looking for. Excellent. That was the sealed game. It's like, I don't know what that is. It's just even this game was £1 times £50. Probably why it was never sold and why it's still sealed. It has this weird seal at the top. I have no idea what this is all about. I did it, mum. Sorry. So remember once we saw one of these games and they had the it covered up. We were like, what is a game called I Did? And he's like, oh no, it's because we were kids, we were dumb. But probably one of my best finds of the day is back when I was a kid. I used to love Pokemon cards. And I mean, I spent so much on Pokemon cards, so I'm kind of a bit like when I see Pokemon cards, like no, walk away. And even today, there was a store and there was a guy and he loaded Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh card. He was like sending them for $3.50 for two. That I think is actually quite a good price because back when I collect Pokemon cards, it was like £2.50. And yeah, there was some store and they had a huge tin of quite new Pokemon cards, and these ones at the top are all the shinies. So I just should have really sorted this out a bit better. I'll just show you. That's Amy's phone going. Amy, your phone's going. Interruption by the phone. Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool cards in here. They got some of those EX cards. But yeah, no, that was really cool. That one of the EX, yeah. I mean, there's a few Charizard EXs on there. And yeah, literally, and it's like whole tin, and it's like the most recent game. It's got the Sun and Moon characters on it. And look at that. It's like a nice big chunk of cards. These are the non-shinies. So I mean, £4, considering it's the pack these days normally sets the back like £3.50. For £4 on the entire tin worth of Pokemon cards, that's pretty decent. I think the tins could be like £20. So yeah, no, that was awesome. So yeah, so it was a nice day at cards. I got a few long shifts at work. I mean, I got a few lots of days in a row, and I don't want to be too tired for work. And plus, I'm probably putting a lot of stuff away in storage at some point, so I'm probably going to try sorting through my collection. But hopefully, I'll get a few more carboots before the season's done with. But yeah, no, it was good. I said I finally got a Game Gear. The only thing I'm missing is technically the Mega Drive add-ons, the Sega CD, and the 32X. That I think I'm going to be very lucky if I ever find them. The Sega Saturn, and the one that was only ever released in Japan. Oh yeah, the Nomad as well. I mean, we're going to get some quite obscure Sega consoles than the ones I got. So I almost completed my main Sega line. So who knows? I may complete my Sega line before my Nintendo line, because I do technically still need the Virtual Boy to complete my Nintendo collection. Everything else I got on that. So yeah, so that's really cool. So remember, there is gold out there. You just got to keep trying. Anyway, see you guys again soon. Remember to subscribe and like my videos. Sorry for the few interruptions we had today, but yeah, you know, I'm really sorry. It's just getting these things done and juggling work at the moment. It's a bit hard. Anyway, see you all around. Bye bye.